Hello everyone, this video is for the instructions for updating your disclosures for the C.A.R annual dues billing. You will be receiving a file that is a Word doc that's labeled 2023 C.A.R disclosure-invoice-hyperlink. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take that file and you're going to want to make modifications on it if your political contributions are more than $49. If you have just the 148 charge code and not the 49, then you'll need to modify this $49 to 148. If you have both the 49 and the 148, you can leave this document alone. And if you have just the 49, you can also leave this document alone and not modify any of the 49. So in essence, if you just have the 148, then you'll need to make that change. If you don't, then you don't. So if that's the case, then you can go ahead and save it. We can just choose File, and then we can choose Save As. I've already picked the folder that I would like this to go to, but you're going to want to choose your folder somewhere on your computer, and you're going to want to go ahead and save this as a web page. Now, what you're going to see is the document it's going to look like this when you save it. So you'll need to change the file type down to web page. Okay, so as soon as you do that, you can go ahead and click Save. Okay, then we're going to go to the folder that we actually saved that information in. So I've gone ahead and saved these two, and it creates a folder and a file. So you're going to want to highlight both of these, and you're going to want to right click and choose Copy. Now you're going to want to go to the location on our server that takes you, that's the place that you need to actually save it so that IMS knows where to pull it from. So on your desktop, you should have an icon that looks like this. If you don't, in the instructions, there is another method of saving this file using a file explorer. So please refer to those notes. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. And then what you're going to want to do is right click and choose Paste. I already have this information in here. So I have this file, and if I scroll up, there's the folder. So both of those are in there now. Also, while we're here, we need to make sure that we change the charge codes to be in this under IMS contribution underscore benefits section. We need to make sure that those reflect the current charge code you're using for your dues. So in this case, we changed this for this customer. These are the three codes that they're using for their contributions for this year. So went ahead and updated those. So you can go ahead and leave that. Okay. The next step is going to go to the invoice type table. Go ahead and navigate to your invoice type table. You're going to select the invoice type that refers to your dues. So in this instance, it's D for this customer. In this disclosure file name, you basically need to have this exact verbiage in here because this is the name of the file with the extension. So we want to make sure that you have that entire file name in here. Okay. Then the next item here is this contribution disclosure on HTML form. So from the document you will receive, you will have the area, the section in here where you can just copy and paste the information for this disclosure. So it's going to, what you're going to need to do as well is with this disclosure, and I'm going to kind of slide this over real quick. Before you copy and paste, we need to make sure that if you have any lobbying, so if there's any lobbying amount information, we're going to need to make sure that that is also updated. So again, if your contribution is just the 148, you're going to need to make sure that you update this to 148. If it's either or, you can leave this as 49. But you will need to make sure if there's anything that you have that there's a percentage of whatever lobbying is non-deductible, then we're going to want to make sure that you add that here, whatever the percentage is and dollar amount. And then this total right here needs to be the combination of all three of these dollar amounts. Okay. So make sure you modify this to your specific association. If it's 0, then you can just have 0% and $0 and then add these two up together and that total should be in here. So whatever you do for your association, just make all those changes on there. And then you would just simply copy all of this information, just simply copy it, select it, copy it, and then you can paste it into the paste it into this section. So when you click in here, get into modify mode if it doesn't already take you into modify mode, and you'll see that it highlights everything. And as I can arrow up, oops. If it's blue, it's highlighted, and all you have to do here is just press the delete key, and then it will wipe it out, and then you can paste the new information in there. Okay. Same thing for this contribution disclosure on invoice. That's also going to be in this document. So you're going to have the same kind of concept here. It's going to need to, you're going to need to make sure that you update whatever their local lobbying percentage is here as well. So you have this section up here and then what the actual total amount is. And then again, the 49, if you have just the 148 charge code set up for contribution. So you can go ahead and then once you've made those modifications, you can go ahead and copy this whole thing from this point down all the way down to here. Okay, so you can copy, and then once you've copied it, you can paste it into here. Okay, so the next section here is going to be on the print statements and invoices. So here we're going to go to the print statements and invoices section, and you're going to want to select the statement that best suits the dues billing that the one that you use for your dues billing, and you can go ahead and zoom on it, and we want to go to the messages section. So the current message, the default message section, you're going to want to check out in here. This is where this message is going to go, and again, it's coming from the document that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this document over here again. So here is where that verbiage comes from, and again, with everything, you're going to need to make sure that you do your lobbying percentages, et cetera, et cetera. You know, when you put all this information in here, once you have it in here, of course, remove the highlights. That's in the document as well. So hopefully you can go ahead and just listen to this video and follow the document at the same time. So that would be, so once you've done all of that, then you can go ahead and copy all that information, right, all the way up to here, and then down to here. Slide this back over, and that's what you're going to put in here. So when I click in this section, it does the same thing. It highlights the whole thing. So you literally just want to remove everything you had from the previous year. So you're going to remove it all, and you copy from the document and just simply paste into here. Okay. So let's go ahead and look and see where all that information actually ends up when you're in IMS. So I went ahead and logged in as my test person, Veronica, and I'm going to go ahead and click Pay Now. Oops, sign me out. Go back in. So I'm going to click Pay Now. So here is where when we click on the invoice, right, click on the invoice number, that really large, huge Word document that we saved, right, that one that we had to put in that folder on our web server, that's where this comes from. So you have all this information here, right? So everything in here, we would have had to modify all of this stuff prior to saving it. So my apologies, hopefully. Before you save that giant Word doc, make sure that you update this information as well. Otherwise, it may not be approved. My apologies. But make sure before saving that Word document, the big one, that you modify all of this. And again, if you have contributions, just the 148, then make sure you change the 49s to 148. But again, if you have both, you can leave it as is. Okay, but this is where that comes from. Okay. Now, when we print the PDF, we can print the PDF, and this is what we're going to see here. So here's the PDF, right? If they want to print themselves, all your information is in here. Okay, so again, that's why it's important to make sure any lobbying items are updated in all of these spots. Wherever there's a lobbying section, that has to be updated. Again, it's set to the generic, so if you don't have any lobbying percentages, then it's already set up for you. It's just if you do have some sort of percentage, then that all needs to be updated, updating this and updating the total. Okay, now if we want to check to pay now, choose payment types. So this is where the contributions are located in here. So if we click on the modify, that's where this information comes from. So when we were in the other folder and we have updated the charge code number, that's where this is coming from. Okay. And then that's pretty much it. So these are all the disclosures that need to be in place. My apologies, down here, this is the disclosure from that HTML form. So again, we have the percentages, the lobbying, all of that. Make sure you update all that information. Once you've gone through the document from start to finish, you should have all of your disclosures in place and be able to be approved. But as always, if you have any questions or you're struggling with anything on the form, please just reach out to support. You can reach us at 866-730-7115, or you can send an email to support@rapattoni.com, and we will get to you as soon as we can. Appreciate your time and have a great day.